So, people, Arsenal 4, Aston Villa 1. It was a pretty bad evening for Unai Emery. He didn't even want to shake hands with Arteta at the end of the game. And finally, Arteta has his number and gets revenge for a lot of these big victories. Not complete revenge because he's knocked us out of semi-finals and stuff. So, it's not. But we ended their run. And what a contrast in the 245 minutes from Arsenal. First half, I'm sitting there at half time going, this is a snore fest. You could argue that if maybe Gyökeres scores his chance, then the game opens up a little bit. But second half, we were absolutely outstanding. 7 minutes into that second half, we were 2-0 up. Gabriel with the header, a little bit fortuitous. Emery flapped at the cross a little bit, sort of hit Gabriel on the hip and went in, but 1-0, good delivery. Then the second goal turns up. What a fantastic third man run from Zubimendi. Brilliant through ball from Odegaard. I wish we saw more of that. And a lovely finish to make it 2-0. We then got the third, another fantastic move, capped off by Trossard, whipping it into the bottom corner. There was a few question marks over offside, but in the end it was given. And then for me, I don't know about anybody else, one of the moments of the season, Gabriel Jesus out for over 10 months with an ACL injury, one of the worst injuries you can do in football. Controls the ball from Trossard and bends it into the bottom corner. Hits us with the Kaka t-shirt. I believe in Jesus. What a special moment. What a great moment. What a great goal. What a talented footballer. I think we all recognize how good a footballer he is. That first 6 or 7 months at the club, he was incredible before he got injured at the World Cup. Am I going to, put all of the responsibility on him now to be our main striker? I wouldn't necessarily do that. Is he capable of playing every week and starting games and physically being able to deal with it? And continue to be prolific. I wouldn't bank on it. I think now it might be a situation where Arsenal, rather than having a recognised number one striker, it's like a combination of Gyökeres, Jesus, and Havertz and Marino, maybe, where we get a number of goals from all four of them, rather than, I think the thought process at the start of the season was, can Gyökeres score 20, 25 goals? That doesn't appear like that's going to happen now, for whatever the reason is that you think of that. In terms of Gyökeres, listen, first off, he struggled. Decent movement, got in some good positions. I think he should have hit the target, particularly with the second one, and probably should have scored. I think an informed Gyökeres scores that, but at the moment, he's just not in form. He's short of belief. I think second half he did okay without really being a goal threat. If you look back at that Zubimendi goal, he makes a very good run to take the defender away. But now, with Havertz coming back and Jesus scoring, he's under pressure. But listen, I held my hands up during the stream and said, look, maybe he's not as good a player as we thought, but I'm certainly not willing to write him off completely. We just may have to look at it and think he's not going to be that 20 goal a season striker this season. It may be you play him for 60 minutes, Jesus comes on and sort of enjoys the fruits of his labour towards the end of the game when he's maybe tired out the defenders. I thought Trossard was excellent tonight. Our best attacking player. First half, a lot of good twists and turns. If only he was that bit quicker, what a player he would be, but scored a lovely goal. Saka, I thought, was quiet tonight. I'm going to be honest, people. He puts in the corner for Gabriel, so get an assist. That's fine. I don't think he played great. Worked hard, and at least he came off early and got a bit of a break, but I need a bit more from him. Something I've been saying a lot recently. Odegaard is in a good zone at the moment. It was another really good performance. Some decent shots. Lovely through ball, man, for the goal. The weight of the pass is outstanding. And listen, I think we've always acknowledged Odegaard's talent. It's whether he can produce and get those numbers and be a bigger influence on the attack. And he has been in the last couple of games. He needs to continue that. Marino, for me, wasn't great tonight at all. Should have been sent off. We're very quick to point out PGMOL and poor referees. That referee did us a favour tonight. It was 2-0 at the time. I actually think it's a second yellow card. He should have been sent off. He grabbed Rodgers, pulled him to the floor. Extremely lucky not to get a second yellow card. It's one of those performances where I think the referee sends him off if it's away from home. At home, sometimes you get away with it. Zubimendi, second half, he was fantastic. And I actually think Zubimendi is better than just sitting in the six. I think he can play in that Vitinha role and get forward and score goals and create goals. I think he's got that talent. I think him and Rice should rotate sometimes, where sometimes he sits and sometimes Rice becomes the number six. I think that we did benefit a little bit from Anana coming off in that first half. His power and pace, he was driving through the middle of our team quite easily. Gets injured towards the end of the first half, and I definitely think Zubimendi, a few of our midfielders, they breathed a little sigh of relief and they improved in the second half, particularly Zubimendi. With Kamara being out and Anana coming off, Villa really lacked power without those two. I'm going to finish off by talking about, we're going to talk about the defence. Saliba was class. Thought he could have done better on the goal, be a bit stronger. Bit unlucky, the challenge, it deflects and then they end up scoring from it. If it was like 1-1 and that happened, I'd probably be going crazy. But 4-0, okay. Nketiah, I thought was pretty solid, apart from that time when he tripped himself over. It was like that time when Tierney did it years ago, if you remember that. Timber, solid as ever, just an absolute beast. David Raya, what a save from John McGinn. I'll be honest, John McGinn should have scored, though. He shouldn't have even let him make that save. I want to finish by talking about Gabriel. We all know his class. He's world class. He's one of the best centre-backs in the world. But today, I thought he was absolutely outstanding. And sometimes you realise when a player's not in the team and then they come back how good they are. He influences our defence. He influences our attack from set pieces. He's aggressive. He's a leader. He's absolutely outstanding. And he has become a monster in this team. Came off at the end, looked like it was just cramp. Man of the match for me, Gabriel. Been out for a couple of months and just bossed the game for me. What a player. What a leader. Whether he's got the armband or not, he can be a leader in this team. Big up to Mikel Arteta. People say I don't give him credit. Well done to him. He recognised Marino needed to come off. Brought Gyökeres off. Jesus made a big impact with the goal. Good to see Skelly getting some minutes. And good to see Madueke come on for Saka towards the end. 4-1. Emery walked down the tunnel without shaking his hand at the end, which I actually like because it means he's annoyed and I want us to annoy people. And listen, like I said, there'll be people saying disappointed Waneri's not on the bench, disappointed Eze didn't come on, but the collective is more important than the individual, and tonight was a collective victory for all of us. Probably the best performance since Bayern Munich and Tottenham that week. And let's hope it continues moving forward, people, against Bournemouth. Let me know in the comments who was your man of the match. For me, it was clear Gabriel, but the likes of Odegaard, Trossard as well were really good as well. David Raya. So big up to everyone locked in. Happy New Year as well. And I will see you all soon, people. Bless.